February and it's just nasty, cold, wet, rainy. I felt like having some fun. So I put together a really cute little recipe folio we're going to make today. This is using Authentique Paper's 2017 collection, Saucy. So take a look in your stash and see if you have this. If you don't have this, they have another really cute one called Ingredient, and there may even be other ones that I'm not aware of. But or you can just make the folio and put whatever you want in it. It doesn't have to be a recipe folio. But this is made with one 8.5 by 11 inch piece of craft cardstock. I love these one sheet wonders. They're so fun. So what I did was put it in my scoring tool, and I scored it 4 1/4. I scored it 4 3/4. Then I folded and I scored again at 4 1/4 and 4 3/4. So let's go over that again, shall we? I'm trying to hurry through this because I have so much to get done, but it's okay. I'm going to slow down now. 4 1/4, 4 3/4. So we have a 1/2 inch spine here. Fold it on that 4 3/4 inch and score again at 4 1/4 and 4 3/4. And we are going to make a little box pocket. And first we're going to line the base because it's a whole lot easier. Well, first, see, I'm excited, so I'm ahead of myself. The waterfall feature. You're going to cut 5 pieces of craft cardstock to measure 6 3/4 by 4. And then you're going to score a 1/2 inch spine on each one. And I'll show you what that looks like. Here's one, see? So 6 3/4 by 4. And then the liners are 3 7/8 inches high by 6 1/8 inch. You're going to need 10 of these. Now, some of mine were short, and I'll show you how I fixed that. So burnish on that score line, and it makes this little 1/2 inch flap. And you're going to glue that right down to the base of your folio at the top. Then you're going to bring in the next one and line it up with the cut edge. You'll see this. I saved the last one to install. And see, here was a short piece that I had. So I just took a little piece and I punched a little decorative edge. This is an old Martha Stewart punch that I've had forever. Perfect for Throwback Thursday. So get in your stash if you've got punches, if you've got dies. And you can see I've put a little paper clip on each one because my thought is you clip your recipe card underneath there. And then you don't have to cover up your pretty designer paper. And also you can pull the recipe out to use it, put the recipe back in. So here's the cute papers that I used. And again, these are all 6 1/8 by 3 7/8. And now we're at the last one. And I don't know if you can see it or not. I'll put this blue ruler here. Sometimes that helps. There's the cut edge right there of that flap. So now I'm going to bring in my final piece. And you can use score tape, you can use whatever adhesive you like. And I'm going to line this up with that cut edge. Not going over the edge, just lining up with the edge. And then just burnish it down. Easy peasy. And then I do keep a paper towel handy because you don't want any overflow. Now we have this big area here. We're going to create a little decorative piece to cover this up. But before we do that, we're going to install our magnetic closure. And to do that, I've cut a piece of the strawberry paper that is almost 6. 6 is good by 1 1/2. And I put a little magnet right here. And close your mechanism, your waterfall mechanism. Line your paper up. Let me just burnish this because it's not quite straight. Okay, there we go. And you want to bring this over like this. You see that? So I'm going to just mark with my finger where I want that to go. And I'm going to put my adhesive on my little mechanism to hold it in place. And I'm going to glue this down. And straight is always good if you can do it. Then we bring in our last little piece. And like I said, no, I can leave that on there. Sorry. Sometimes, if you ever notice, it's really hard to worky-talky. But anyway, so here's my paper clip to hold my recipe card in place. Now I'm putting my adhesive down. And I'm going to line this up over here on the right. I'm going to center it up on the right so that it lines up like this. So see how it's matching here? And then I just cut a little piece here to cover up that final flap and punched it. But this was a short piece because if you cut 1/6 and 1/8 off of, I did this so I could get 2 pieces out of each 3 7/8 inch strip. That is what I am attempting to say. So let's close this. Now let's take our adhesive off our magnet. I've got a magnet underneath so you can see. I wanted to show you how to place these because I know sometimes that's a difficult thing. So I'm going to take a little piece of score tape just to put over that magnet, just as extra insurance in case the adhesive, you know, heat, cold, time. So this will help hold that in place. I'm going to put my other magnet right on top. So that's a negative magnet going on top of a positive magnet. And now I'm just peeling off. Yes, I'm peeling off the little liner. Now have everything lined up the way you want it, because once this goes down, it is done. And then just fold this over. Make sure you oops, look at that. That gave me a little trouble. Okay. So then press it down. Lift this up. And that's where this is. So we're going to take a little piece of our tape. We're going to put it over this to hold this in place. And then bring in your sticker sheet. And let's take this little gingham one that says the kitchen is the heart of the home. This needs to come down a little. There we go. And boy, we barely made that over that. So now this goes right down here and it covers up our tape and our magnet, but see, it will still catch. And then right here, to cover up this magnet, let's take this cute little retro, and again, I'm going to push this tape in a little bit. It's a little wide. Cute little retro banner right here. And if seeing the magnets doesn't bother you, just leave it. But I like to have that little extra insurance. And I think what I want is to take this cute, an apron is just a cape worn backwards. Let's mat this on a scrap. I had so neatly put all my scraps away, and now I want one. Isn't that the way it goes? All right, let's take a little scrap of our craft cardstock and let's just put this on there. Trim it out. I have these really bright lights on when I make videos, and man, sometimes I can hardly see, but I want you guys to be able to see. So, all right, and let's see. I think that's good. And I'm going to, because I don't want to overflow, I'm going to put my adhesive right in the middle here on top of my strawberries. And I'm going to go just like this. So look, now we got this cute little closure. And all of our magnets are covered up, so everything's neat and tidy. Now on the bottom, I cut, where'd my blue ruler go? Here it is. This is 8 3/8 by 4, and we're going to line the back of this. Just like that. Now I'm going to show you how to install this box pocket. So when we scored in this extra 1/2 inch spine, that becomes our pocket. Then I cut 1.5 inch squares of the craft paper because this is 1.5 inches tall, and we want 1/2 inch, so 1/2 inch plus 1/2 inch plus 1/2 inch is 1.5 inches. You didn't know those fractions that you learned in 4th grade were going to come in so handy, did you? But they do. And we're going to line this first score line up with the outside edge of our paper, and we want to make sure everything's nice and straight. This is the easiest way I know of to make a box pocket. I've done all different kinds. This way just seems to work really well for me. And if you follow my channel at all, you know I am a fan of the box pocket. I love them. All right. So now what we're going to do is put adhesive on this outer flap. So we adhered one outer flap to our base. We're going to take the other outer flap and we're just going to roll it in. I'm going to hold that in place for just a second. And I'm going to come over here and get this one lined up properly so that everything is neat and square. And then come in with a bone folder and just burnish those down to your base. And I don't know if anyone else has ever, I mean, I figured this out on my own. This was one of those things that I was like, I want to know how to do this. So I just started playing paper and figured it out. And I had some real disasters at the beginning. So then I cut a 9.5 inch by 2 inch piece of this retro yellow. And I scored 1/2 inch flaps on the sides and bottom, trimmed out the corners. And this is going to be the cover for our box pocket. So I'm just putting adhesive on here. These retro patterns are so cute. All right, so I like to line up one corner first and the other corner like that. And then they just press in place. It fits just really well. It's a really easy way to make a box pocket. So what goes in the box pocket? Well, I'm glad you asked me that question. Let me just finish burnishing all of this down. Okay. So in the paper collection, there are these really great recipe cards. So I just backed these with the lined paper from the collection, slightly smaller. Now you can write your actual recipes on these cards and they fit perfectly inside the box pocket. Then I thought, oh, look at these cute 4x4s. So I made little folios to go inside, and I'll decorate these up later with stickers and flowers and ribbon and all that jazz. But I just want you to see how they work. They have a magnetic closure. And then inside I use notebook paper so that you can actually write your ingredients and then your directions down below. And you can store these recipes in the pocket. So I have one that is not finished that I'm going to show you. And you cut these to 4 1/4 by 11. And then I want you to score it at 4 1/8 and 8 1/4. And then when you tri-fold it, it makes this little nifty little folio. And I screwed up and I put my magnets down. I wanted to make sure you saw how to do the placement. It's just like we did it before, where you get your tab done first and then you just line them up So I had to tear this up. That's why that's ugly right there, because I realized I forgot to show you how to do this step. So see, they match. Easy, right? Take this off. This goes on the front. And I usually try not to get adhesive over my magnet because it will, it actually weakens the strength of the magnet. So she goes here. And then up here, I just cut these also 4 inches. And again, I had short pieces. So I took a piece of my green that was the same width. And we're going to put that down first. Right here. Well, this is a little wide, but you know what? It's already glued down, so there's nothing I can do, and it will be fine. I will find a way to make that work. Then I just cropped out my corners with a crocodile stub punch to make this little decorative tab top, and then here's the front. So these also live inside this box pocket. And then this closes like this. So for the cover, I also did an 8, that looks like it's 8 3/8 by 4 1/8 of this green floral. And then I just took a little panel of my aprons that is, you know, it was a scrap. So 3 5/8 by, it looks like about 4. Matted it on my craft cardstock, glued that down. This is a sticker from the collection that I just matted on cardstock, trimmed out, added a little yellow ribbon and a button. Fussy cut this out from one of the pages, added this little sticker here and a button. So this is going to go right on the front. I'm going to lay this down flat because it's a little bit easier to work this way. And just burnish this down so that everything sticks. And then I wanted something to hold it all together. So I made a belly band. And this is 2 strips. They were left over from cutting. These are 2 1/4 by 11, and I joined them together. You know how I do that. Then I cut one piece of this. This is a border strip from the, it's on this recipe card paper, and it's a border strip right in the middle. So it's 12 inches by, I want to say 2. And I glued this right in the center. Then I measured out 4 3/4. I mean, I'm sorry, 4 1/4, because 4 1/4 and 4 1/4 is 8 1/2, and this is 8 1/2 inches wide. And then I measure over 5/8 of an inch from that so that it would make it around the bend. And let's see if I got this right. That looks really good. And what we're going to do, I just wanted you to see how that worked. So we're going to trim one of these off. Bring this in. Wouldn't this make a cute wedding shower gift? Or a housewarming gift, or a Mother's Day gift? All right, so you don't want to pull this too tight because you want to be able to move it on and off, and you also want to have a little wiggle room as you add. So just kind of loosely put it on there. Put your adhesive down. Line this up. All right, and I've got a little too much glue on there, so I'm just going to wipe that off. But there's our belly band. Look how cute. I'll probably add ribbons and flowers and buttons to the front, but that is the basics. That's how you put this together. And it's just a really super fun design. One sheet of 8.5 by 11 paper. And you could do this in a travel theme with travel paper, and inside you could put your pictures from your little trip and little souvenirs in the box pocket. You can add tea in that box pocket if you want to, or, you know, a little treat. But that is Throwback Thursday for today. Thank you so much for joining me. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, I would love to have you along for the journey. When you subscribe, you get a notification every time I do a new video, and that way you don't miss out on any of the fun. And it also helps other crafters to find my channel. So I hope you have fun with this little design. And I'm Kathy Clement, Kathy by Design. I'm going to go get my craft on. Happy Throwback Thursday, y'all.